So I just had my 10 days post-op appointment. It is May 17th, 2019. And I had planned on going home and having a whole sit down, but I'm so excited. So 2 days ago, my mom had a doctor's appointment, and the doctor there, her doctor, said that she had been through the surgery and everything as well. And so she was like, well, how much have you lost? And I said, I lost exactly 50 pounds before surgery, which I am so excited about. But at the time I was 8 days post-op, and I have begun to feel like I've lost weight. This is a key ring because this ring no longer fits on this finger. It falls right off. So I was noticing some changes. I've noticed my face is kind of thinner. My overall, I just feel thinner. So I didn't know how much I had lost. Now, I know that I lost the 50 pounds before surgery, and that was exciting, but it didn't really make sense. So I weighed myself there, and I was exactly 450 pounds, 450.0. So that means that I lost 67 pounds in total from my highest weight. So I was over the moon. I posted on my Instagram. I was like, look, I took a before and after picture, and I honestly, I feel like I look really good. So today, well, now it's 3 days later, I went to my 10 days post-op, and I am down another 3 pounds. So I have lost exactly 70 pounds since my highest weight. I mean, how cool is that? I'm only 30 pounds less than 100 pounds lost. I'm only 30 pounds away from 100 pounds lost. That's so cool. So then, also I was telling the nurse here, her name is Liz, and I love her so much. She's also been through the program, and she is the coolest girl, like the coolest chick ever. Anyways, we were sitting down, and before the nurse came and took my bandages off. I'll tell you all about that. But we were sitting there, and I was like, you know what's so funny is when I hit my 100 pounds lost at 417, I will literally be the exact weight I was when I graduated high school 10 years ago, 11 years ago now. Oh, I'm so excited. So I'm almost at 100 pounds lost. I think I'll do an update when I reach that. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm so beyond excited. Anyways, back to my appointment. So I go in there, and I'm, shooting the breeze with Liz, and we're talking about stuff. She's taking my heart rate and blood pressure and all that. And we took our weight, and she gave me a hug for it. She said she's so excited. She said I look really good. And then the nurse, so the center that I go through, the surgical center that I go through, there are two main doctors, Dr. Simchek and Dr. Ludwig, who do the actual surgeries. They're both surgeons, but they usually when you have a surgery, it's one surgeon and then like a nurse practitioner, but they both do it. So one will be the nurse for the day, and then they switch it for the next surgery. This one will be the nurse, and then this one will be the nurse for each surgery. So Dr. Ludwig is my surgeon, and then this woman named Anna, she is the she's like the nurse, but I don't know if she has I don't know. She's just like a head person. So it's Dr. Ludwig, Dr. Simchek, and Anna Coates. That's who this whole surgery center is from. So Anna came in because Dr. Ludwig is doing surgeries today. Dr. Simchek is doing surgeries today. So Anna did my 10 days post-op, which is normal. And then she said, she's like, oh my God. So Liz was telling me that your highest weight was like 671. And I was like, no, my highest weight was 517. And I've lost exactly 70 pounds. She's like, oh, okay, whew. She's like, I was really nervous because you shouldn't have lost that much weight after 10 days. And I was like, no, we're good. I lost 20 pounds. And so then she asked me how I was doing on my pain medication. And I told her I take one muscle relaxer before bed But other than that, I don't take any other medication. She's like, good. So when was the last time you took your liquid medicine? It's liquid Vicodin. And I said, oh, I haven't touched it. I don't take it at all. She's like, oh my God. And it just blew her mind that I don't take this liquid medicine. But I have a really high tolerance for pain, so I don't take it. And she said, okay, good, that's perfect. She said, how are you doing on your protein and your water intake? I said, I have 2 Premier Proteins every single day so that I get 60 grams of protein, but I only get between 28 and like 40 ounces of water. And she said, okay, so you can start with the pureed diet today, but thin enough to you can get a fork through it. So I can have blenderized cottage cheese, I can have Greek yogurt, I can have, you know, the like healthy choice soups blended up, but if I can get a fork through it, like a fork can't pick it up, I can eat it. And so I said, okay. And she said, only once a day until I can get my water up. And I said, okay, that makes sense. So I said, I was so frustrated with, how am I going to get my water and protein? And she said, just keep working at it. I said, one day I stayed up until 11:30 at night, just trying to get the 64 ounces of water, and I just couldn't stay awake. And she said, just keep working on it. Take larger sips, just a little bit. My stomach needs to expand just a little bit so that I can get all the water and the protein that I need in. And that makes sense. Okay, so I'll do that. So, that's what I'm going to do. My mouth is extremely dry right now. I am so surprised that I didn't have any stitches. I only have just a few on that big one, but it was all just, my skin was held together through tape. That's amazing to me. And then the one that's over here isn't even going to show that much. Like, it's not even that big of a scar it's going to be. So I'm so excited. How cool is that? So yeah, that's what I had my 10 days post-op. After she took the tape off, I gave Liz another hug, and then we scheduled, my next appointment is July 18th for my 2-month post-op. And yeah, I'm so excited. Hey guys, so I am going to just do like a late update video for my 10 days post-op. I ended up back in the hospital, and I'll go ahead and attach the clip after I go ahead and tell you a little bit beforehand. Lucifer, my dog is being really loud, but so I woke up in the morning on Friday, and my mouth was really dry. I couldn't understand why it was so dry. So I started out just drinking water, and when normally I wake up and I drink a protein drink right away before I get my water in, because I know that the protein is a little bit more important than the water. I needed to get my 60 in, you know what I mean? So I started by drinking just a whole bunch of water, and I did my My Story video, and if you watch that, I'm drinking water throughout the whole thing because I was just so thirsty. So about 1 o'clock, I decided, okay, I need to start drinking my protein. And I took one sip of my protein, and it hit my stomach like a stone. And then my whole stomach started to hurt. And I was like, well, that's not good. You know, it's never been like that. I was completely fine, able to drink the Premier Protein all the way until then. But then after that, it hurt. So then I thought to myself, okay, maybe I took too big of a sip. Maybe I need to like take a smaller sip. So I waited in solid 10 minutes before I took another smaller sip, and the same thing happened, like a stone, and it hurt. It was painful, but with my my higher pain tolerance, I was like, I could just do it. I got this, you know, it's totally fine. Maybe just not Premier today. Maybe I'll just drink water until my stomach settles down. So I waited another 10 minutes because I wanted it to be done before I drank some water. So I took a sip of the same water I had been drinking all day, and it hit like a stone in my stomach, and I couldn't figure out why it hurt so bad. So I was like, maybe my stomach is just tender right now. Like I don't know what's going on, but I'll just wait it out. So that was at 1 o'clock, and then at 5:30, we went and got the kids dinner and stuff. And at 5:30, from 1 to 5:30, it had progressed to hurting really badly. It was really uncomfortable. I wasn't able to eat or drink anything those whole 4.5 hours. And so I put on Facebook, because the surgical place that I go through, they have a Facebook. So I put it on there and I was like, is this normal? I don't understand. It really hurts. And everyone kept saying, call the office. Well, at that point, it was 5:30 in the afternoon on a Friday, and the office closes at 4 on Friday and doesn't open again until 9 a.m. on Monday. So I was like, well, I can't, because, they're closed. And so one person was like, no, call again, because, call anyways, because you'll be patched through to a 24-hour number. So I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So I called again, and they patched me through straight to the surgeon's cell phone. And the surgeon answered, Dr. Simchuk answered the phone. And that blew me away. I wasn't expecting that at all. So I told Dr. Simchuk what was going on. And he said, you need to go to the hospital and have an upper GI done. So I was like, oh, okay, thinking that that's just maybe an ultrasound or something. I had no idea what it was. So I told my mom, and I said, I'm just going to go to the hospital. He needs an upper GI done. And she said, okay, let me know what happens. So I drove to the hospital, and while I'm in triage, because you have to go to the emergency department, and while I was in triage, I asked the nurse there, I said, what is an upper GI? And she goes, that's where they put a camera down your throat. And I was like, I thought that was called an endoscopy. And she goes, it's called an upper GI endoscopy. And I went, oh. Don't you have to be put under for that? And she goes, yeah, not all the way fully intubated and sedated, but yeah, you are out. And I said, oh, can I drive after that? And she said, no. And I went, oh, I drove myself here. She goes, well, you better call somebody. I'm like, well, thanks. So I called my mom, and because we only have one car, it's just my car, and I'm at the hospital. I can't drive after it. I can't leave because I'm being seen by the doctor. And my mom has the baby, so it's not like she could take a cab or something. So I just told her what was going on, what I just found out. And so she called my Aunt Tracy, who was just about to have dinner, hadn't eaten anything all day, and she ended up staying with me until midnight when I finally was able to put in my room. She's so nice. Anyway, so my mom came and got the car, and Dr. Simchuk said that they did a CT, and the CT showed I was perfectly fine. There were no air bubbles. I didn't ever have the endoscopy, actually, but the CT said that I was normal. My blood work said that I was really dehydrated. They poked me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in my arms in the course of 3 days. I had to have 2 different IVs. They tried an IV twice on this arm. They poked me 3 times on this hand, 2 times on this hand for blood. Ugh. Anyways, and that's just in my arms. I had, anyways, my blood work said that I was dehydrated, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put the clip here. Hey guys, I am back in the hospital. Showed up yesterday, and I was having a lot of pain on my 10th day. Went to my 10 days post-op, and I was totally fine. And then I did all my running around. I needed to pay bills, whatever. Then I kept getting a lot of pain in my stomach, and I couldn't figure out why. I was drinking water. I was drinking a lot of water, and it was fine. And then about 1 o'clock, I started to get really bad pain in my stomach. And I have the hiccups. And I am extremely nauseous. Extremely nauseous. So I called the office, and the office directed me straight through to Dr. Simchuk's cell phone. So I talked to him, and he said, go into the emergency room. You need to have an upper GI done. So I went to the emergency room. It was 5:30, and I'll tell you all about it later. Right now I'm just so nauseous, but he admitted me. I didn't have an upper GI done. I had a CT done, but they admitted me, and now it's 3 o'clock the next day. It's not midnight. It's 3 p.m. on Saturday, and I am so nauseous and my head is pounding. But I wanted to give you an update because Dr. Simchek just came in about an hour ago, maybe like 2 hours ago, and said that he wants to keep me for a full day on the phase 1 diet, which is I have to get 4 of these down in an hour, and I just tried to take a little sip and it's threatening to come back up. I mean, it's probably TMI, but I'm so nauseous, and I dry heaved and nothing came up because I have nothing in my stomach. I dry heaved and dry heaved. Oh, I'm so nauseous. So they gave me Zofran, and for some reason Zofran didn't work at all. So they gave me another medication to try, and it's supposed to be slow releasing, and so I can't wait for it to start. But he said that they want to keep me for a full day, so he's gonna talk to me again tomorrow. So I'll be 3 days in the hospital, hopefully not longer. He still didn't do the upper GI. I don't know what's wrong. Oh, he said that what it sounds like with my pain and stuff is that my sphincter, the right where your esophagus meets your stomach, is spasming, which he said is common for up to 3 weeks. So it hurts. They gave me a muscle relaxer last night and that worked, but the pain started to come back, and they gave me Dilaudid, and Dilaudid just messed with me. It messed with my whole being. I got nauseous. That's when I finally started to get nauseous, because this whole time when I called and everything, I wasn't nauseous at all. And then they gave me Dilaudid, and I'm like throwing up, nothing, like dry heaving, hurting myself. It hurt. And Zofran wasn't working. Oh. And now I have this just major headache. I have such a headache, it hurts my eyes. And what helps is I take my glasses off and take a cold washcloth, and I just hold it over my eyes. Oh. And it takes the pain away and takes the nausea away. So yeah, I'll make a video later explaining everything when I feel better. So as you can see, like, I just finally got released the next day after that video. It's Sunday now. I got released at 9:30 in the morning. He said that the reason why I was having the pain there is the sphincter, which is where the esophagus meets the stomach. That's called a sphincter, and it was spasming and causing discomfort, and that it's completely normal up to 3 weeks after surgery, which I had no idea about. Like, thanks for letting me know. But I will note that after I got put into my room on Saturday, they checked my weight while I was in the bed, and my weight was 440. So I lost 7 pounds in the course of one day because I wasn't able to eat or drink anything. That's scary. That's really scary. That's not good at all. But I will say though that it is pretty cool that I'm only, 23 pounds away from 100 pounds down. That's pretty cool to me. I'm really excited. I want to reach my 100-pound goal really badly. But Dr. Simchek said that I do need to go back to my phase 1 diet. He said, do the liquid diet for 10 days, or not 10 days, a week. He said, go back on the liquid diet for a week. And then he goes, well, just don't go to the phase 2 diet, which is the puree diet, for at least several days. So I'm gonna do it for as long as I can. If I do it for a whole week, then that's cool. But if I don't make it a whole week, then that's okay too. He said several days, so I'm gonna give it at least 5. Like not even at least until Friday, the very, very least. So I have to call the office tomorrow and schedule a follow-up for 2 weeks instead of waiting until my 2-month post-op. I'm just 2 weeks from now. So yeah, that's what's going on, and I'm better now. There's still some mild discomfort, but I know what it is, so I can just get on with it. So yeah,